Hey, welcome to Farm Talk Friday, USA version.
Woo!
It is December 15th, 2023. I'm Ken Jordan. This is my beautiful wife, Giovanna.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Angel.
We made it. We're only almost 20 minutes late on our live.
Never late.
Yeah. Ken had to repark the car because we're in downtown situation parking.
Yeah, we're in San Diego.
And it's complicated and not really worth getting into.
No. Parking downtown's a nightmare. I guess any downtown is a nightmare for parking. Anyway, so listen, we're in San Diego. We're visiting some friends and family. Happy birthday, Trent Cantrelle.
Yay, Trent. We're looking forward to seeing some of our friends tonight. I think DJ K is preparing a nice dinner for us, so we're excited to see him and part of the crew that came down for Ken's birthday.
Super exciting. All right, so every week Giovanna makes an advertisement for Farm Talk Friday. This week we had like a lemon and some greens. What'd you have in there?
Well, first of all, we don't really have lemons the way that at least people in the United States think of lemons. We have only limones, and we have the ones with the orange inside, and we've shown these on Farm Talk Friday before, and then the ones that are green inside.
Yes,
right.
So we have several different types of limes.
Yeah, but not like the yellow Meyer lemon that like doesn't exist. Maybe some gringo has that kind of tree, but they're keeping it all for themselves. It's not in the markets.
Yeah, in general, the yellow lemon doesn't grow in Costa Rica.
Yeah. So anyway, but we Ken's right. We had the limones in the picture, and I think it was a piece of wild cilantro, we call it, but it's like a wild cilantro.
Uh-huh.
And it was a really big piece. Sometimes we get they pop up wild, but like usually the leaves are smaller. This one like had really long leaves.
Yeah.
So it was super interesting. And then on top I had black pepper, but in the photo it would be green. And so the black pepper starts off green. That's when you pick it. I mean, if you do leave it on the vine, it'll kind of turn black on its own.
And that's what we used to do. We used to think we're supposed to wait for it to turn black, but
we were taught by a permaculture specialist from the Caribbean coast. He taught us to pick it green, boil it for like 3 minutes, and then you put it out in the sun for 3 days. And you're waiting for the peppercorns. I mean, they turned black almost immediately. Like within a few hours after I did that process, it was already going black and turning shrivelly. But you want it to be super crackly. And so it takes a few days out in the sun for it to get to that point. But I would have to say what was really interesting this time I processed, I didn't realize when we boil the water that the water turns kind of black. So I was surprised to dump out the water this time. I was going to rinse something with that water. I'm like, oh no, it looked like charcoal water. It was really weird. So anyway, that was our advertisement this week, was peppercorn that I harvested, wild cilantro, and limones.
Awesome.
Woo.
Also, let's see. We have started. We're in the dry season now. Even though we're not home, we are irrigating briefly late at night with our drip irrigation. We talked about that before, but we are now in full effect.
Yeah. So the timers are supposed to be working, and the system's supposed to be functioning.
Yes, it's all working. Well,
okay.
it's all working. We'll have to get up before the sun rises and check for
leaks and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, it's working.
So this was a big deal for me because we were going to be here for, not quite a week, but, I mean, five days gone, that can be really harsh on the plants. Yeah. So we want them to be resilient, but 5 days could kill something if it's too young. So it was really important for me to make sure that we got this done. And so I want to thank my husband for taking it seriously. And thank you. Thank you, honey.
All right. What else we got, honey?
Well, do you remember the abundance that we had this week?
No.
Of bats.
Bats, yes. When we first moved into the Green Wave House property, we purchased and set up some bat homes. I don't know, what do you call them? Bat houses.
Yeah,
Bat houses.
Two of
Which
them.
are like these flat little wood things where the bats come up and hang upside down. Is it upside down? Anyway, they sleep in there sort of. And they're flat and only they can get in, so it protects them from predators. Anyway, you set them up as high as you can on a tree or a wall or whatever. Ours never worked ever. But
We
now,
don't think that we attracted any bats. Yeah.
now we've got all kinds of bats in one of our trees, and it's fantastic because bats eat mosquitoes like crazy, and I'm super excited about that.
Yeah. So we've always had bats.
Yeah.
You know, and so we were surprised that they weren't finding their home in the bat houses, but we didn't know where they were living. I mean, they just live in trees normally, but it was disappointing that we had like bought these houses and they were unpopulated and they've basically rotted at this point. So they're just decomposing outside, which is fine because they're made of wood. But yeah, so I was in the pool at night around sunset. And so this is usually the time when like mosquitoes come out. And there was just so many bats. And I noticed that they were coming from one of our biggest trees. It's a type of fig. And I just couldn't believe. I mean, it looked like there was dozens of bats. They were just having a bat party in this tree. And made me really happy. Made me really happy that we had something that was like hosting the bats in that way. Because they're so cute. I don't know if you guys have ever like really looked at bats, but I don't know, like mice are cute and they're like flying mice. They have like little cute faces. And anyway, did we talk about the Katuk chip thing?
We did.
We did.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, that was just a permaculture party club thing that we did at the markets. I think we might have talked about it last week.
Permaculture Party Club has 2 weeks off.
Yes. And for those of you that don't know, it's we're going to be expanding it out to the larger community, but I've been mentoring 2 high school kids, and they're having fun. We brought them on like last week or the week before, and they said that they're like, yeah, it's kind of fun. But what I found out, and so I would have to like, I don't want to say that I disagree with them, but that their feeling was they went with Katuk chips because Mason likes Katuk, and they felt like they had to explain themselves a lot. Like not a lot of people know what Katuk is. Yeah. And so they're like, next time we want to do something easier that, you know, more people know about already. But they're missing that opportunity of selling people on something original.
Yeah, I think that made it more cool because they were educating and informing people about Katuk.
Yeah. So I'm just, next time I see them, I'll give them that, viewpoint. So, timers, agave injuries. Did we cover that recently? I just want to say that we can't see my legs right now, but I have like 2, agave injury markings on my legs that are just like not healing super fast. And it's making me think I need to wear like pantyhose or something.
The agave plants have like long, big, sharp, I don't know what you call it, points on their
spikes.
Hojas.
Yeah.
And man, though they go deep. They draw blood immediately. A lot of blood.
Yeah, Ken was.
And it hurts.
He was decorating our coconut palms and putting solar Christmas lights up.
Uh-huh.
And he said, yeah, I think one of them went straight to my bone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they do that. I've had that happen too. And it's so important if you do get an injury like that for everyone that has agave around, whether you're in our area or some other area that agave grows or that you're planting, that you need to disinfect that because it might have some sort of bacteria on it, or obviously you can get bacteria into it. And, I think, different people have, it's like for whatever reason, like I feel like my skin is more prone to getting bacterial infections. And so just like take that warning because I've had things get infected and, just try to remember to wash that because sometimes like you're working hard, you just want to keep moving. But if you can remember to wash your wounds, your farm wounds afterwards, it will help you heal. I think the last thing I just wanted to talk about was, I feel like we're at this point where, you know, we have this yin yang garden. It's in the front of the house, and we had it unprotected originally, and then we put up kind of like a clear.
We put up a fence.
We put up a fence,
like a little wall.
And then, you know, after many years,
and we did that to keep predators out.
Yeah.
To keep mainly the iguanas from eating all the plants.
Yeah, and then you know, at some point, the elements are super tough in Costa Rica, and so it started to disintegrate many years later, and we decided to take it down.
Oh, I thought we took it down for looks.
Both.
Okay.
We decided that we weren't going to replace it.
Yeah.
It's basically like it's breaking. We had a party where somebody like fell into it because it was like they were going to fall into it anyway, but like I feel like they fell, but it was more brittle and then it broke, and we were just like, okay, this thing is done. Mm-hmm. Like, do we want to replace it, or should we just take it down? Let's see how it does. And so yeah, the iguanas like go to town, the agoutis go to town on whatever like we're planting there, and you know that can be fine. Like but we're also not getting a lot. We're still in transition in Yin Yang Garden. We talk about that often, but also I feel like in our vivero, which is our plant nursery, like the iguanas are getting us over there too. And I just think that like maybe on the Yin Yang Garden, we could, Adriana keeps bringing up that we could do these hoops. Like you build them and they're, so we have this like sunshade protection that we built years ago from old building materials that were left over out of like PVC and some, what's that? Saran? Mm-hmm. Saran. But it's just protecting from the sun, really. But these hoops are, like you put it over the gardens and they're about the same height, but it would not allow things to get in and eat them. So Anyway, so there's that. And then the vivero, I'm thinking that we might need to put some sort of screens up on the walls to protect. So anyways, we have things to discuss, Ken and I.
Okay.
So we get more, so we have more abundance and we have more to report on for Farm Talk Friday.
All right.
Yay, Kristen.
Okay, thanks everyone for tuning in to Farm Talk Friday, USA edition, California edition.
That's right.
We'll be back on our little farm next week. For my beautiful wife, Giovanna, I'm Ken Jordan. See you next week.